So the approach that I took for kind of creating a more active learning environment for students on the Museum Studies program was to create a series of opportunities for students to kind of share their own experiences while they were on work placement. So the particular course that I was working on was a 20 credit work placement course that took place over 15 weeks. So students were off in lots of different locations working on different projects. So I wanted to create opportunities for students to share what they were learning and to share their experiences. So I created a series of online discussion groups that students were each a member of. So it was about 4 to 5 students per discussion group. They were in their online discussion groups, which was facilitated through Moodle. And then they were given a series of 6 staggered questions that were tied to the course's intended learning outcomes and the kind of aims of the course. What tasks have you been working on recently? What have you found challenging? What feedback have you received from your placement supervisor? How have you taken that on board? Those were the type of questions that were posed to the discussion groups. I could see that there was a real need for students to share with each other and to do some more peer-to-peer learning, I suppose, than what I saw when the course had been organized in past years. All of that knowledge, those experiences, those skills that students were acquiring while being on placement, they kind of then only could share those experiences right at the end. So using online tools, particularly through Moodle, was a way to give them that opportunity to have that kind of ongoing conversation with their peers. The gaps that I saw were really around creating enhanced opportunities for students to share with one another what they were doing and what they were learning. So I think the key benefits to students was that I do think it was fairly successful in giving students an opportunity, enhanced, greater opportunities to share with each other what they were learning and to develop those skills of kind of critical self-reflection, which I think are quite important skills to develop as they look ahead to hopefully building a career in the museum and cultural heritage sector. Perhaps students were meeting peers who they hadn't necessarily had an opportunity to talk with in the past. And through having these online discussion groups on Moodle, I was able to kind of keep tabs on all of the students and really get a sense of what these different projects they were working on. What were the similarities across the projects they were working on, but also what were the differences, and to kind of get a sense from students' own feedback about what they found challenging about being on work placement. So what can we do as a program to perhaps equip students more fully to work in the professional environment? So it was really useful for me to get a sense of what these 30 students were doing. Had we adequately prepared them for those tasks in semester 1 in the core courses that they take? Or are there things which we need to insert to make sure that students are kind of fully equipped and they feel confident entering the professional environment?